Imagine waking up on a Wednesday morning, getting ready to take your child to school and seeing that Tony Khan has once caused hell on Twitter. Hello, I am Toby, welcome to the main event, and today we are going to be talking about something that really shouldn't have happened last night. If you didn't see it, Tony Khan and the USA Network had a little bit of a spat on X about Jinder Mahal, which has single-handedly pushed Jinder into a main event slot and got the guy so over. If we look back at Raw this previous Monday, Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins had a one-on-one confrontation, which at the end of the show, we found out that Jinder and Seth would go one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. This obviously shocked quite a few people due to the fact, it's Jinder, who, to be fair, is a former WWE champion. But yeah, people were quite shocked because, Seth Rollins is in a completely different level to Jinder, which is, you are fine to believe that. It's not exactly wrong. So last night, Raj Giri brought up on X that obviously Jinder and Seth have history, being the competitors for the first ever NXT champion. I don't fully know if this was a shitpost to try and get traction or anything, but the comments were kind of crapping on it, which, the IWC, you guys do that all the time. We all know what it's like. But then the strange thing happened where the USA Network went and commented saying, what was the cage match rating? Now, for you who don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know, CageMatch is a website where we can find out all the matches some wrestlers have, and the public can go and post their reviews and rate the matches, kind of like how Dave does, but just not on his own. The thing about this is that CageMatch doesn't get a lot of people actually voting for their beliefs on a match, like what level they give it. Which is then weird because Tony Khan recently has gone and said that AEW has been really good on CageMatch. People have been really enjoying the shows. I'm sorry, when only a couple of hundred people are saying that your show's good and you are focusing on that and booking your shows around that, that is really, really strange. I mean, using ratings or what the demographic says, that's usually how you know what people are interested in, or just looking on social media to see what the overwhelming consensus is. For a guy who uses social media a lot to post crap, he doesn't really read it much, does he? Because he still doesn't understand that we want the women's division to be pushed. This then obviously led to Tony going and replying to the USA Network. In a retweet, he goes and says, a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has had in the past 364 days, because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. Now, Tony coming back against USA Network totally makes sense. I mean, he is only defending his show from a company that really shouldn't be, because, there could have been deals made there in the future. We don't know. Whoever was running the social media on the USA Network blatantly knew what they were doing here. But then to use Jinder Mahal as a weapon in this, it's not really smart, because social media just knows what to do off that. And they did the right thing, because now Jinder Mahal has been trending and is hella over. Something he's never really been able to do on his own, really. Even when he was WWE champion, that run was not great, but I'm happy I got to see it end when AJ beat Jinder. But then Tony goes on to say in another tweet, a double standard. Hook, 28-1 career record on a winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he has been in for the past year, immediately gets title shot. Where is the rage? And then follows up saying, AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. Yeah, great promo, Tony. Now, viewers, friends, esteemed people who also hate my guts, there is one thing we all know about the wrestling business, isn't there? It's predetermined. Tony Khan books the winners. So the fact that he's using Hook's 28-1 record as a good reason to put a title match on with Hook doesn't mean toffee. Hook's won many matches, and I've said in a previous video, of which you can go and watch on this channel, that Hook has actually been underutilized by Tony Khan. It's all well and good winning matches, but apart from his little spat with Jack Perry, which ended at All In, He's done nothing story-based, really. Yes, I know you can go and say Hookhausen. That was 2 matches. And I don't hate Hook. I love Hook. I think he's great. I think he's got a lot to give. It's not the same as building a story around it. And stop using Jinder as a weapon. I think it's pretty obvious to everybody why Jinder is in this match next week. That guy gave it his all opposite The Rock on the first Raw of the year at day 1. Triple H goes and bigs up that there is going to be a world champion returning, and it happens to be Jinder. And the crowd went ballistic. They weren't happy. Some of them were laughing it off. And then The Rock came out and gave Jinder an absolute grilling, which was obviously going to happen. And this now feels like Jinder is getting his thank you very much for all that you did and the shite you got from people. And they're giving him a world title match. It's the most obvious win ever for Seth Rollins. But like I say, it's predetermined, Tony. Don't try and fool people into thinking, oh, Hook is really that good when you are booking Hook. And it doesn't really matter. Why does it matter that Jinder, even though he's lost so many matches, is getting a title shot when he's put the work in these past couple of weeks? There's nothing wrong with it. Following this tweet, a certain Eric Bischoff, who blatantly hates AEW, he's made it very known, goes and retweets with just the clown emoji. And then Tony tweeted him back with a gif saying, "Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been." Now, I personally don't agree with a lot of the things that Bischoff says. And I know my word means muck in comparison to others. And it's the same with Cornette and such. But these are the guys who paved the way for people like Tony Khan, who, let's use IWC terms, is a mark with a lot of money, who is getting to do what a lot of marks would love to do. You wouldn't have had you without Bischoff. And then Bischoff retweeted someone called Mikey's tweet about Abaddon getting a title shot after she'd been off TV for so long and basically doing nothing, and asked Tony if it was true or is it a bot account. To which Tony went and responded, saying, "No, Bischoff, not true at all. Abaddon returned to AEW and won a fatal 4-way match on TNT against other wrestlers to earn a title shot, which is completely different than someone going a full year losing every match they're in and getting a title shot without a single win." Is this what all this is about? I mean, just Jinder didn't win a fatal 4-way to get a match against Seth, and it was just, you know, Seth being a workhorse champion and putting the title on the line at every chance, so if someone challenges, Seth just agrees to it. I don't get what the problem is. Like, I love AEW. I love it. But there is so much BS surrounding the background of that company behind the scenes. Tony Khan is starting to prove that someone needs to swoop in and delete his Twitter account, because this is happening more and more, where Tony just goes and slams anybody who disses his company. I'm really sorry, man. You don't go and see me deleting comments off my YouTube video because someone doesn't like what I put in a video. I might start doing that and making me look like an absolute god. But I don't care about him retaliating to the USA Network. That was perfectly understandable because they shouldn't have done any of this. It's just the fact that he goes and targets another company's wrestler and keeps grilling about it. Jinder Mahal should get the biggest pop on Monday Night Raw next week, which I could see happening. God, man, this is something. But anyways, what do you think about this whole Tony Khan situation? This is absolute madness in my eyes that he is still allowed on social media. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I've been Toby. I'm gonna go for a nap, and I'll see you soon.